So, so now we have confirmed the problem. Sorry, we have defined the problem and we have measured the problem using a proper uh, measurement system. Okay, you know how to calculate, measure, and confirm the measurement system's credibility, adequacy, everything. Now, okay, whether really the problem exists, what is the root cause of the problem? Whether only one root cause available, whether there is only one CTQ that is responsible, or there are more critical possible factors which are responsible for the particular problem. See, we finish the define, we finish the measure. Now we are in the analyze phase where we have to identify the root cause. So while identifying the root cause, we have to confirm the possible cause factors for this particular problem, because we have defined the problem in the initial phase. Okay, whether there is only one possible cause or more possible causes, we have to identify that. Okay, that is the important work of the analysis. Let me give you in a simple manner. For example, recently a theft happened in SBI ATMs. Okay, so after a lot of investigations, they captured one culprit. Okay, they investigate that culprit to identify whether more people are involved or he alone is the thief. Likewise, we have to identify the root cause, and further we have to check the sufficiency of the possible cause factors, whether only one root cause is involved or many other possible factors are also involved for that particular problem, in that particular problem. Okay, so that is what we are going to do in the analyze phase. And as I told you, until and unless we confirm each phase, we won't move to the next phase. So in the analyze phase, we are going to identify the valid root cause, and we are going to, we are going to identify the valid root cause, checking the sufficiency of the root cause, and we are going to validate it. That is what we are going to do it. So normally in Lean Six Sigma process, checking the sufficiency is not done, but generally that is important. We have to confirm that only one root cause alone is involved, or many other causes are also behind that particular problem. We have to be very sure in that, because if you miss additional reasons which may be also a part of the problem, then after implementing the solution, we may not get the needed result. We may not get the success of the project. So that is why in the analyze phase, we have to validate the root cause by checking there is no other factors which are also responsible for this particular problem. Only one root cause is involved or multiple root causes are involved. We have to identify that. So the main and important objectives of the analyze phase is we have to understand the reasons for the waste, for the problem, for the variation in my process, for the deviation in my system. We have to first understand the reason. Without understanding the reason, it is not possible to find a solution. So first we need to understand the process variations. We need to understand the reason for the wastage. We need to understand the reason for the scrap. We need to understand the reason for more cutting waste. Okay, we have to understand the reason for the more failures which are creating risk. We have to understand it first. Then identifying the potential root causes. Okay, so now we got a lot of root causes. We have to identify potential root cause. What is potential root cause? The one which is mostly responsible. Yesterday we saw a Pareto chart. In the Pareto chart, we have 10 or 15 problems which are responsible for the poor performance, but out of which 2 or 3 are creating 80% of the problems. Okay, we saw some stitching errors, some button errors. Those 2, 3 are causing a cumulative efficiency loss of 80%, poor performance of 80%. So that is how we identify the potential root causes. Then we have to investigate using our hypothesis statement. Okay, finally we arrive at a validated root cause. What is a validated root cause? I can say this is the particular reason my system is having a problem. This is the particular reason root cause my process is not efficient. That is what you have to do in the analysis phase. You have to understand the reasons behind the wastage or the loss or the poor performance or the gap in the performance. Then you have to, then it is easy for you to identify, right? After that, we have to use the hypothesis statement to investigate. Then you arrive at a validated root cause. Validated root cause in the sense it is the exact, okay, root cause. It is the exact reason for the loss. It is the exact reason for the poor customer satisfaction. This is the exact reason for the deviation in my performance. Okay, so now we in the analyze we have these three steps listing all possible excess, all possible cost factors. So previously we have discussed about the CTQ, that is the possible factors. So now I am going to list all possible cost factors which may be a reason for the poor performance. Okay, for example, let us take a small example. See, my son class advisor told, class teacher told, my son performance is poor in mathematics. Okay, so the problem is I have identified the problem and defined the problem. The problem is my son is poor in mathematics. How they have measured his marks are very low. So measure phase is over. He scored only 20 out of 100. Now I have to analyze what is the reason. Okay, I go to the class teacher and check it whether his attendance is proper. If he is not attending the classes regularly, then also he may get poor marks. If he is not taking the mathematics notes properly, then also he may get poor marks. If he is not doing the homework, then also he may get poor marks. If he is not not preparing for the exams properly, then also he may get poor marks. Likewise, we have to list all possible X factors, probable X factors. So for my son's poor performance, I can list 4 or 5 X factors. Then I have to identify which one is a critical. My son is not attending the max class regularly. I have identified that is a critical X factor which is behind my son's poor performance in max. Have you got it? Yes, all of you. Have you got how you have to identify the critical X factors? Okay. So first we have to list all probable cost factors or root cause factors or X factors. Then we have to identify the critical X factors. For that we have tools. So we can rely on the tools to do the activities. Then the important thing, only because of not attending the class is he getting low marks or any other factors is also involved. I have to identify that. It may be because of poor health, he may not be attending the class. So likewise, we have to confirm the sufficiency of the possible cost factors. First, I told the possible cost factors are, I have identified 5 possible cost factors. One, he is not attending the class. Maybe he is not writing the notes. Maybe he is not writing the exams properly. Maybe he is not writing the homework properly. Maybe he is not going to the school itself. Then out of which using certain tools, I was able to identify that because of not attending the class regularly, he has scored low marks. Now I have to confirm whether that alone is the reason or whether any added reason is also there. I have to verify the sufficiency of the possible X factors. So these are the 3 steps which you have to do in analyze phase. List all the possible X factors, identify the possible X factors, which is critical for the particular loss or for the poor performance. Then you have to verify the sufficiency. It is very critical because if I take a solution without verifying the sufficiency, I may not get the end result which I wanted because another reason may be there for the loss also. So if I doesn't address that reason, if I doesn't address that problem, that may still prevail and corrupt my result. So I have to be very sure about this. So what are the tools I can use? See, for all the 3 steps, you have different tools. One is you can use for listing all the probable X factors, you can use a brainstorming. Okay, brainstorming is a wonderful tool. You will see that. Then cause and effect diagram or YY analysis. You can use these tools for finding out all the X factors. See, for example, to identify my son's poor performance, I have a teachers meeting. I go there. All the teachers explaining the reasons. Okay, my son is not coming to the class. He is not taking notes. All of them are giving reasons. Because of that, I'm able to identify the X factors, right? That is how we can use these tools to identify the possible cause factors behind the problem. Okay. Then cause and effect diagram is there. YY analysis is also there. Then we can use FMEA or focus problem statement also to do the same activities. So we will see this cause and effect diagram also in the coming sessions. And next step, how to identify and validate the critical X factors. For that, you can use Pareto analysis. So we saw this Pareto analysis in the defined phase also. This Pareto analysis is compatible and it is more flexible. You can use it in the analyze phase also. Apart from that, you can use hypothesis testing, ANOVA, and all these things will be given as intro by Dr. Siva. Then you can use the regression analysis, correlation analysis, scatter diagram. See, these tools can be used to identify. Okay, my son's the reason for the poor performance of my son is he is not attending the class. To identify that reason, you can use any one of these tools. Then to verify the sufficiency, you can use prediction model also. Okay, that can be used to verify the sufficiency. So these are the tools which can use in different phases of this analyze phase. So at the end of the analyze phase, I will be getting two important outcomes. One is I will get all the possible cost factors. Another one is I will get all the validated root cause. What is possible cost factors? I got 6 reasons. Okay, my son is not attending the class regularly. He is not taking the notes. Okay, he is not attending the exams. Okay, he is not preparing for the exams properly. He is not doing the homework. Okay, he is not studying the subject. Likewise, I can list all the possible cost factors. Then at the end, after so much of discussion, brainstorming, and other usage of tools, I was able to arrive at a validated root cause. My son is not attending the class. Because of that, he is scoring poor marks. So after the analyze phase, you will be able to arrive at a validated root cause. Why we need to arrive at this validated root cause? Then only I can give a solution. Then now onwards, I will make sure that my son is attending the class regularly without any absenteeism. Okay, so I will be able to solve the problem. So you need to have a clear-cut problem in your hands. Then only you will be able to arrive at a exact solution. That is the purpose of this analyze phase. Are you able to get the analyze phase? Shiva sir, Dr. Sivakumar?
Yes, SR is coming, sir.
Madam, actually, it will take another 10 minutes only to finish this analyze phase. Whether I can finish it.
Okay, sir, you carry on. Now it's 4:02 only. You can carry on, sir.
I will finish by 4:10.
Okay, no issues.
So, as I told, we can use this brainstorming tool. This brainstorming is a wonderful tool. We can get all the probable cost factors through a brainstorming. For example, we can have a problem. There is a delay in the raw material. For example, all people are working in company. You know what will happen if there is a delay in a raw material. Then the entire production will be delayed. Then the supply will be delayed. Then the customer will be angry at you. There won't be any cash flow. The cash flow will be delayed. Everything will be there. So in such a case, we will have a brainstorming. What is the reason behind the delay? Okay. So now we will have a small direct session. See, actually, we have some 20 people among us. Okay. Nowadays, we have a general problem in hand. That is, most of the students are not studying properly. Okay. So now I want all of you to give the reason one by one. Okay, first we will start with the brainstorming session. Okay. Okay, first we will start with Abhishek Rawat. Abhishek Rawat, are you there? Abhishek Rawat, are you there? Okay, he's not there. Darshan, are you there? Darshan. Okay, he's also not there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Mr. Darshan, we have. Okay, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. We have a problem in hand. The problem is the school children are not able to learn properly. So I want all of you to give only one reason. You must give only one reason. That should be in one sentence. You cannot give explanation. One reason, one sentence for this problem. Okay. School children are not able to study properly. Give me one reason, one sentence. I will call the names. That particular person can give a reason. Darshan, can you give a reason? Okay. Then Dilip Kumar. Dilip Kumar, can you give a reason?
Hello.
Okay. Okay, Dilip Kumar, what is the reason behind the poor performance of school children nowadays in the past 1 year? Any reason? You can give any reason. Okay, we will ask Harshit Shah. Harshit Shah.
Sir, online study.
Very simple. Only one answer, one sentence. Online study. Mayank, you can give a reason.
Over usage of internet, sir.
Over usage of internet. Okay, then Vignesh.
Not going to school.
Sorry, not going to school. Correct.
Correct.
Valid reason. Not going to school offline. Darshan,
Online study and not
Online studies.
concentrated.
yes, online
Not
studies.
concentrated.
Yes, online studies, because of that they are not able to concentrate. So likewise, we can use a brainstorming session to list out all the probable X factors. Okay, so this is the use of brainstorming. In brainstorming, we give each and every one an opportunity. Now you would have understand. See, during this brainstorming session, I called the names one by one and asked all of you to give a reason, okay, behind that particular problem. Likewise, in brainstorming, when we use the brainstorming and analyze phase, we can state the problem and all ask the relevant stakeholders. All of you people are mostly fathers, you people are family man, so you are able to give the reason. Likewise, when you have a problem in the company, if you want to do analysis, if you want to find out the possible cause factors behind that problem, you can gather the people who are relevant to that problem. Like for example, if it is a shipping problem, you can call the shipping manager, logistics manager, purchase manager. People who are relevant to that particular problem can be called for a meeting. Okay, you can assemble and you need to have a facilitator, a coordinator, and the coordinator has to say the problem and you can give the reasons behind the problem one by one, and the problems reasons can be noted down in a paper. Okay, so we are able to find out all the possible X factors. Okay, if we do this brainstorming method in this manner, that is giving all of them a chance to give the reason, then it is called a structured or a round robin brainstorming method. If I ask the question in common, and for example, if Mayank or Darshan is, these two people alone are giving the reasons for all the problems. If these two people are giving more reasons, other are remaining silent, then it is called the unstructured brainstorming. That is, if I give a chance all of you to speak one by one, that is called a structured brainstorming. If I give you any one of you speaking continuously and giving all the reasons for the particular problem and other people are remaining silent, it is called unstructured brainstorming. So using brainstorming, you will be able to identify the possible cause factors. Then, okay, we will come to this later. We will have another wonderful tool for listing these probable cause factors, that is called the cause and effect diagram. What is this cause and effect diagram? See, this cause and effect diagram is also called as fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram. Okay, so in this cause and effect diagram, unlike the previous brainstorming, this will help you to identify the process, identify the possible cause factors, and all the cause factors are categorized into different categories. Okay, some of you said that poor performance for children is due to online classes, not going to school. Okay, then ability to concentrate. So what we do is we will categorize them under each categories. Okay, under manpower, under environment, under machinery, under tools. We will categorize them under different categories, and we are able to visualize them in a graphical form, in a diagrammatic form, so that it's easy for you to understand the reason for the loss or the variation in the process. So let us see a small example. Let us see the basic format of the cause and effect diagram. In the cause and effect diagram, we will have a problem, okay, or the loss in the right hand side. Okay, we will draw a center line, and now we have to draw inclined lines from the center line, and we have to write the different categories. For example, the method involved. For example, if I am having a problem in the welding, okay, there are a lot of problems. Most of the jobs are rejected. Okay, the welding joints are rejected by the third party inspector. Okay, so what may be the possible cause factors? I have to write down all the categories under which the possible cause factors may arise. For example, the welding method and the materials used for welding and the measurement methods used for checking the welding and the environment under which welding is done and the machinery which is used for welding, whether it is a LTB machine or it is a single phase machine or a transformer machine, whether the manpower, whether the welder is a qualified one. So I can categorize all the possible factors into different categories. Then I can find out the possible causes. First categories, then factors. Sorry. First various categories, then the possible causes, below various categories. We can use a brainstorming, and another method is there, YY analysis. I will say about in the end. We can use these two tools to find out the possible causes. For example, I told my son is not doing well. So one of the possibilities, the method. I can go and check with the max teacher what method he is following to teach max. Then materials, what kind of material book is he is referring. Okay, then measurement, how he is correcting my son's paper. Then the capability of the max teacher, I can verify all of them one by one. So that is what we are doing in this cause and effect diagram or fishbone diagram. We categorize all the possible causes, okay, into different categories, and we look at each of them and we verify each of them whether this may be the cause or whether this may be the cause. For that, we need to have a good team of experts. We need to assemble the team which are relevant to that particular problem, which are facing the pain, which are facing the pain, or which are facing the loss, or who are facing the customer dissatisfaction. We have to assemble a team and we have to create this diagram. Let us see a small example, then you'll be able to understand easily. See, for example, one of my friend is late to the work. Okay, one of my friend is late to the work. Why? Okay, why he is late? Okay, why he is late? What are the things that are involved in the morning process which make him late? For example, so many processes are involved. For example, he has to fix the alarm clock. Okay, he has to set the alarm clock to wake up at 6 o'clock. He has to prepare a breakfast, that is a process. He has to start to the office, that is a process. Then he has to set off in time. If he has to move by 8:30, he has to move by 8:30. For example, if he is sharing the car along with his friends, then car sharing has to be done. So these are the process which is involved in the morning movement to the office. Then what are the equipments that are connected to my friend's movement to the work? He is using a car, he is using a toaster machine for making the breakfast, he is using a coffee machine for making the coffee, and he is using a hair dryer to dry his hands, he is using alarm clock. Then what are the materials, raw materials used? He is using milk to make coffee, petrol, glass, electricity is being consumed. See, we can see so many possible factors are categorized here. Even the people who are connected with this morning office going, his family, his children, his boss, his friends, everybody is listed here. Then the around environment. For example, if you are going to office, you will be facing traffic lights, you will be facing traffic, bad weather, poor road qualities, railway gate blocked in between. So all the possible cause factors which may be a reason for the problem is listed here. Are able to identify it? Are able to understand this cause and effect diagram? Yes, Mayank. Are able to identify it? Understand?
Yes, sir.
So in the cause and effect diagram, we are listing all the possible cause factors. That is the first step, listing all the critical factors. So we are listing all the possible cause factors in a graphical manner. Now we can check which one is the responsible for the problem. My friend is late because, very simple, his alarm clock didn't work. Since his alarm clock didn't work, he was late to the work. It happens normally. Okay, so this alarm clock, it comes under the process and the equipment. So a same possible cause may be repeated under the process and can be repeated under the equipment. There is a possibility. So you can allow that. So this cause and effect diagram will help you to identify the possible X factors, and it also helps you to identify the main possible X factor which may be a reason for the problem. Okay, so this fishbone diagram is a graphical representation, okay, for easy understanding of the all possible X factors which may be a problem for the, which may create that particular problem. So in this case, getting late for the work is a problem, going late for the work is a problem. The reason is the process. Setting up alarm clock may be a reason, or the alarm clock doesn't work, that may be a reason. Okay, so using this fishbone diagram or cause and effect diagram, you'll be able to identify all the possible cause factors. Okay, which is creating a gap in my performance, which is creating a customer dissatisfaction. Okay, so when you look at these factors, you can sort this into 4 categories. First is high control possible cause factors and low control possible cost factors. Okay, now I am going to ask you a question. Who is there? Yes, Joy. What are the possible factors you can have high control in the previous diagram? Okay, what are the possible cost factors which you can control easily? Whether you can control alarm clock easily?
Sorry, the control alarm clock.
Okay, you have very high control over alarm clock, because if you want to switch off the alarm clock, you can switch it off. Okay, what about your control over traffic?
That is difficult.
You cannot control the traffic. So in the possible cost factors, you have two levels of control factor. One is high control, another one is low control. You can control a coffee machine, but you cannot control a traffic light. Yes, you can control how you
Breakfast.
yes, how you have the breakfast, whether you can decide not to have or have, but you cannot control the railway road blocking. So likewise, the possible cost factors, yes, the possible cost factors can be divided into high control and low control. And the outcome of the possible cost factors may be high impact or low impact. What is this high impact? See, for example, I am driving at high speeds. My friend is driving at high speeds. He has high control over the brake. Okay, but because of the high speed, okay, because even though he has high control over the brake, if it fails, sorry, even though you may have high control over certain activities, and if you fail to control that, the impact may be very high. Setting alarm clock is easy, you have high control over that. But if the alarm clock failed, you will be late, you will be getting up late, and you will be late for the work. Okay, but the traffic light, if you are getting continuously in more traffic lights, you will be late to the work. So sometimes a high control possible cost factor may be having a high impact on your output, and a low control possible cost factor may also have a high impact on your outcome. Okay, so we should be able to sort out the possible cost factors into these four categories, and you should give importance to the one in the top right corner, the red, then on the blue, then the yellow, then the green. That is, you have to focus on the possible cost factors which you can have more control, which is having more impact on your process. Okay, then you have to focus on the possible cost factors which is having low control, but the impact is high on the process. Okay, that is how you can use this cause and effect diagram and cause and effect sorting. So using this cause and effect diagram and brainstorming, we are able to list out all the possible cost factors. Okay, this cause and effect diagram is a simple graphical representation of all the possible X factors, which will help you to identify the possible cost factors. Okay, so that you'll be able to identify the root cause easily. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask, and myself and Dr. SRK will be happy to answer it. So any doubts?
Sir, can you one time show that slide cause effect sorting one? So first we will use first quadrant and second. Then which quadrant we'll use?
Yellow.
Yes, low control yellow. Third will be yellow.
Yes, third will be yellow, and fourth will be green.
Green. Okay, sir.
Yes. So you can use this cause and effect diagram, brainstorming, to list out all the probable X. You can see from the cause and effect diagram, graphical diagram, all the possible cost factors are brought into the scene, right? Everything is brought into the diagram. So by looking at it, we are able to identify easily. There is no need to think, write, or anything else. By looking at it, as a team has put down all these things into a paper. Okay, we are able to identify this is the reason for the loss, this is the reason for the poor customer satisfaction, this is the reason for the gap in the performance, this is the reason for the cycle time increase, this is the reason for the more inventory cost. You are able to identify from the fishbone diagram or cause and effect diagram simply by simple discussions. But construction of this cause and effect diagram is important. You need the help of experts. You need the relevant people who are working in the relevant department. Then only all the cause and effect factors will be relevant to your problem. Okay, you need relevant people who are more related to this particular problem. Then only they can give you more possible causes correctly. Is there anything else, gentlemen? Or we can go for a break?
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I have taken 10 more minutes of your time. Yes, Dr. Sivakumar?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the coverage. I think we can take the tea break and resume after the tea break, right?
Okay.
So you can get your questions clarified on the topic which has been